What's up, everybody? It's your boy, StephenMotivate. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm back with you. We're dealing with our 52 Turo tips. This is supposed to help you manage your Turo business in a way where you can not only have fun, learn entrepreneurship, but also hopefully make a little money. These tips are designed to help you do just that. So the tip today is you've got to be very cautious about doing unlimited mileage as a feature on your Turo. In fact, when I wrote this tip, my recommendation was do not do unlimited mileage. Don't do unlimited mileage at all. But since then, there are certain cases where it's okay to do unlimited mileage with your guests, and that's if they're paying for it, right? But in general, you've got to be very cautious with mileage, because the mileage that's on your vehicle is directly correlated to the value of your vehicle. For instance, if you get in an accident with a car that's 10 years old but has 2 miles on it versus a car that's 10 years old and has 100,000 miles on it, the value of that car is going to be significantly more, probably by $3,000 to $5,000 per 10,000 miles. One of the levers you can pull if you're a Turo host, you probably already know this, is you can offer folks unlimited mileage. And a lot of people do this in order to ramp up their business. I am not a fan of it, and I don't recommend it. But as it relates to Turo tips, if you want to get your business ramped up really quickly, okay, pull that lever. Allow people to use your car with unlimited mileage. And let's talk about some reasons why we would do that. Well, the reason why you would do that is because more times than not, people only use the mileage that they need. So they're not just going around and using mileage frivolously just because they are, some people would rather pay for something up front than to be hit on the back end with a fee. So let's say I've got a trip for 250 miles, and the usual default in Turo is that you get 200 miles a day when you're borrowing someone's car. That's the default setting unless the host changes it. So some people would rather you tell them up front that, hey, give me an extra or $50 or whatever, in order to have unlimited mileage, because they need to go 250 miles versus you saying, all right, if you go over 50 miles, I'll charge you X amount per mile in overages plus an inconvenience fee or a convenience fee. So some people, they don't want to be hit with surprise charges, which makes sense. They want to be prepared out and planned. And so versus they've got a couple options. If you don't have unlimited mileage, they either have to keep the car for 2 days and then they get 400 miles, or they'd have to pay for the overage. And that's sort of the name of the game there. Or if there is unlimited mileage as an option, then they don't have to pay anything additional. They just get to drive the car and that's it. But you got to be careful. Now, most people, again, are not going to go over the 250 miles on purpose. That's not their intent. That's not their plan to just go over on mileage, to frivolously drive around. They simply want to manage their trip appropriately. And I get that. And so you'll probably hear a lot of other guys on YouTube or in the industry say, use that. Use the mileage option. Use the unlimited mileage as a way to ramp up your business, because it certainly will, because you give people peace of mind in that sense. But again, the reason I'm against this, and I don't think you should automatically offer unlimited mileage, is because it is going to decrease the value of your asset, in this case, because you're using the car to make money, to generate revenue. It's going to decrease the value of that car so dramatically that it can make either selling it or trying to, or if it's in a total loss situation, it can make it just more upside down. And what I mean by upside down is if you didn't buy the car in cash, as most people don't, and you got a loan on the car, and the car loan still has, $10,000 on it, but you have so much mileage on the car that the car is like in the open market not worth much. Let's say it's got 200,000 miles on it. That car is not going to be worth anywhere close to 10 grand because of how high the mileage is on it. And so if you're letting people just, drive your vehicles and just be willy-nilly with the mileage and you're not getting any payment for that, they're literally taking money out of your pocket. So I'm of the camp that you want to be very cautious with unlimited mileage, and so cautious where you should not allow that to be your default. Yes, will it ramp up business? If you need a quick jolt of your business, yeah, it can, but there are other ways to ramp up your business, which you can walk through and listen to all the 52 Turo tips playlists on YouTube. And we've got links for all that stuff for you where you can go through and look at other ways to ramp up your business outside of just doing unlimited mileage. So that's my reason that, I think it's something you've got to watch out for. So I hope some of that makes sense. The other thing I'd mention is that, okay, if I've given you some arguments against it, of why you shouldn't do it, but I've also given you some arguments for why you should, or for why people do it. But the in-between is this, and I've recently started to do this with my Turo listings, and that is to offer unlimited mileage as a upfront fee. So, just to make sure we're crystal clear here, you can offer unlimited mileage as a default, and on your listing, it will show up in the corner of your listing. When people are looking through it, it'll say unlimited mileage, and that will give your vehicle an advantage. It will likely also move it up in the algorithm because it's peace of mind for guests. It's a convenience. It looks really cool, as it relates to, you're going on, you're searching. It helps Turo as a platform be more competitive with the big names. So I get that. I get why Turo does it. I get why people want you to do it. So that's unlimited mileage as a default. I don't recommend that. Okay. I would say let the default be the 200 miles a day, which Turo, when you set up your listing, will automatically put your car at basically 200 miles a day. And if you got a really fancy car, you can actually lower it. I've had cars, Range Rovers, things like that, hey, you can only drive this thing 150 miles a day, and I've had huge payouts because people have went completely over the miles, and it's just been, crazy. And you've gotten, all right, dude, $1 plus a mile here, and you've went over 2,000 miles. I'm getting an extra $2,000 on your trip because you just went crazy on the mileage. So I've had it work in my favor that way. But anyway, my point is that my recommendation is that you do the 200 miles that Turo defaults you to. But the in-between option is to do unlimited mileage, but have it as an option on your listing, as an extra rather on your listing. So we'll talk about extras at some point, but if you're a Turo host, you may or may not be familiar with extras. So you can offer unlimited mileage as an extra, and you can set it up as a trip fee or a per day fee. And it's up to you how you would like to do that. But either way, it at least allows you to still offer it the peace of mind, but to make sure you're getting an additional pay for that, an additional dollar, because like I mentioned before, your mileage is directly tied to the value of that vehicle. And the more the value of that vehicle sinks, then the harder it is going to be for you to recoup your investment long term, or to have some sort of salvage value long term. And you just don't want to do that to your business. If this whole thing goes down, being able to sell the car and get out of the car is important. And the only way you can do that is if you have more value in the vehicle. If the vehicle's more valuable and worth more than what you owe on it. And we'll talk about that at some point. There are ways to manage through that as well. So that's my tip for you. Tip number 17, I believe we're on number 17 here, is that you really have to manage the unlimited mileage very cautiously. And you'll hear a lot of people, or at least I haven't personally heard a lot of people say it, but I've heard people say that other people on YouTube are saying, hey, do unlimited mileage for your Turo listings. Do that, do that, do that. And you're hearing me say the opposite. Don't do unlimited mileage. If you want that as an option, if you need a bit of a jolt in your business, or you're not booked up as much as you'd like to be, okay, add it as an extra in your profile and let guests pay for it that way. But I actually think it hurts the overall industry when other people offer unlimited mileage, because it's not realistic. I mean, unlimited mileage, literally. Now, yeah, people don't always use it, but unlimited, that's just, it's not realistic. Mileage is directly tied to the value of the vehicle. So, just a word to the wise, hopefully is sufficient in this case. Be careful about using unlimited mileage. Hey, I hope this episode was good for you. If you liked it, if this was helpful for you, leave some comments, leave us some feedback. If you need help managing your Turo business, you can always reach out to me directly. We'll leave some links down in the show notes. Please comment, feedback. And the only thing I ask is, if this helped you the way it's helped me, then share it with somebody else. All right. As always, stay motivated. It's your boy, StephenMotivate. Peace.